Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we're reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela, chapter 7, text 20 and 21. Please repeat after me. Say, Panchatattva Mili Prithvi Asya Purva Prema Bandharira Mudra Ughadiya Panche Mili Lute Prema Kare Asvadana Yata Yata Piye Trishna Badhe Anukshana Se Panchatattva Mili Prithvi Asya Purva Prema Bhandarira Mudra Ughatiya Panche Mili Lute Prema Kare Asvadana Yata Yata Piye Trishna Badhe Anukshana. Okay, say those Panchatattva, 5 truths. Mili, combined together. Prithvi, on this earth. Asya, descending. Purva, original. Prema Bhandarera, the store of transcendental love. Mudra, seal. Ughadiya, opening. Panchemili, mixing together all these 5. Lute, plunder. Prema, love of Godhead. Kare asvadana, taste. Yata yata, as much as. Piye, drink. Trishna, thirst. Badhe, increases. Anukshana, again and again. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The characteristics of Krishna are understood to be a storehouse of transcendental love. Although that storehouse of love certainly came with Krishna when he was present, it was sealed. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with his associates of the Panchatattva, they broke the seal and plundered the storehouse to taste transcendental love of Krishna. The more they tasted it, the more their thirst for it grew. Purport. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called Mahavananyavatar because, although he is Sri Krishna himself, he is even more favorably disposed to the poor fallen souls than Lord Sri Krishna. When Lord Sri Krishna himself was personally present, he demanded that everyone surrender unto him and promised that he would then give one all protection. But when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this earth with his associates, he simply distributed transcendental love of God without discrimination. Sri Rupa Goswami therefore could understand that Lord Chaitanya was none other than Sri Krishna himself, for no one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead can distribute confidential love of the Supreme Person.
कृष्ण के गुण विद्वेष के आधार माने जाते हैं। जब कृष्ण विद्यमान थे, तब यह प्रेम का आधार निश्चय ही उनके साथ आया था, किंतु वह सभी तरह से सीलबंद था। किंतु जब श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु अपने पंच तत्व की संगम के साथ आए, तो उन्होंने दूसरे कृष्ण प्रेम का आस्वादन करने के लिए कृष्ण के दिव्य प्रेमादार की स्थिति होकर उसे रोक लिया। वे जो उसका आस्वादन करते हैं, क्यों और एक आस्वादन करने की उनकी तृष्णा बढ़ती गई। श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु महावदन्यावतार हैं, क्योंकि वे साक्षात कृष्ण होते हुए भी दीन पतितात्माओं के प्रति श्री कृष्ण से बढ़कर दयावान हैं। जब भगवान श्री कृष्ण विद्यमान, तब उनकी इच्छा थी कि हर कोई उनकी शरण में आए, और उन्होंने वादा किया था कि कभी वे उसको संरक्षण प्रदान करेंगे। किंतु जब श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु अपने संगियों समेत इस पृथ्वी पर आए, तो उन्होंने भेदभाव कर दिव्य भगवत प्रेम का वितरण किया। इसीलिए श्री गोस्वामी समझ गए कि श्री चैतन्य महाप्रभु श्री कृष्ण के अतिरिक्त अन्य कोई नहीं, क्योंकि भगवान के अतिरिक्त ऐसा कौन होगा जो परम पुरुष के अंतर प्रेम का वितरण कर सकता है।
Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshu Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruvye Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Hyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutav Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Bhagavatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shri Shri Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namasate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sate Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikasa Swami Nityanande Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanande Namaste Saraswate Devi Gaurvani Pacharini Nirvishesha Srinivadi Pashchati Nishtari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Panchakalpatarubhishcha Kripasamudbhishcha Patitanam Bhyo Vaishnava Yasya Devi Pura Bhaktir Yata Devi Tatadru Tasya Te Katatayata Kasha Deva. So thank you all for coming for this very special day of Gaur Purnima. This is considered the new year in our lineage, Gaudiya Vaishnavism. And it's the advent, the appearance of Lord Chaitanya, the most munificent, the most compassionate avatar of Krishna. And although he offers the highest benefit of any of Krishna's incarnations, many are still not aware of him, even within India. So our purpose and our goal in life is to spread the mercy of Lord Chaitanya and help others learn about him. This concept of avatars, of the Lord himself descending into this material world, is very foreign to someone like me coming from America.
ये जो सिद्धांत है कि कैसे भगवान के नाम से अवतरित होते हैं, मुझे जैसे व्यक्ति जो मुझे कैसा है उनके समझना बहुत बड़ी बात है।
Many would say that it's not possible. It's something God couldn't do something like that.
अधिकतर लोग ये कहते हैं कि भगवान कभी मनुष्य के रूप में आए,
But of course, God can come to this world. He can do anything he wants.
क्यों नहीं आ सकते भगवान को जो नहीं कर सकते।
And Krishna states very clearly in the Bhagavad Gita why he comes to this world in these different incarnations.
कृष्ण स्पष्ट रूप से बताते हैं भगवद गीता में कि वो अलग-अलग अवतार में
Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkatam dharma samstavanartaya samavami yuge yuge. That he comes to annihilate the miscreants and to protect his devotees and to establish dharma for the age.
दुष्टों का नाश करने के लिए, उन्हें भक्तों की रक्षा करने के लिए और धर्म के सिद्धांतों की स्थापना करने के लिए भगवान ने युग करते हैं।
And so you've definitely heard of Nrsimha, of course Krishna, Lord Ramachandra, these different very famous incarnations of the Lord.
आपने सुना होगा नरसिंह, राम, कृष्ण, विभूति, प्रचलित भगवान के अवतार हैं।
And part of the culture of this country is to hear about these pastimes.
और इस देश की संस्कृति रही है वैसे भगवान के अवतार के विषय में श्रवण करना।
From what I've heard, actually, before the current westernization that's happening, maybe 50 or 100 years ago, it was common that everyone would listen to and read Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata on a daily basis.
मैंने सुना है कि लगभग 50 साल पहले भारत में जबकि और इतना वैस्टर्नाइजेशन नहीं हुआ था, तो हर कोई भगवद गीता, भागवत, महाभारत, रामायण कोई सबसे पाठ किया करते थे।
This was before Bollywood and all this, again, Americanization of Indian culture.
ये तब तक बॉलीवुड और पाश्चात्य देशों का नाम बदल नहीं था भारत इससे पहले की बात।
And from an outside perspective, it might seem like, well, it's just the same. It's just stories, just like you go to the movies and you see some story, and you read the Mahabharata, and it's also just a story, right?
बड़े दृष्टि से एक ही जोड़ी की आप भारत में बॉलीवुड में क्या है एक स्टोरी और महाभारत बड़े हैं।
But it couldn't be more different.
ये दोनों में जमीन आसमान का फर्क।
One, listening to these mundane stories, watching movies in the cinema, these Bollywood movies, these only serve to increase our material attachments and our lust, anger, greed.
और अगर हम सिनेमा में जाते हैं तो हमारे जितने भी अलग हैं भी बहुत ही कर सकते हैं काम से वो हिस्सा बनेगा।
But hearing about the pastimes of the Supreme Lord and his associates actually does the opposite. It frees us from material bondage.
यदि हम भगवान के अवतार और उनके भक्तों के विषय में श्रवण करते हैं, हमारे लिए बहुत ही कर सकते हैं हम करते हैं।
We become attracted to our eternal constitutional position as servants of the Lord, and we become attracted to the Lord, and we want to learn more and associate with him.
हम भगवान के प्रति आकर्षित होते हैं और हमारे भगवान के साथ इसकी ओर आगे बढ़ते हैं।
So this very simple practice of just everyone's attracted to hearing stories. Everyone wants to hear some story of some great people. But by dovetailing that propensity in the attraction to the Lord and the stories, the pastimes of the Lord, then we can actually get a real benefit from it. And so, like I said, these incarnations, they come with a purpose. And Krishna says that it's to annihilate the demons, to protect his devotees, and to establish dharma. And even when Krishna comes and kills demons, like Putana, and so many different demons he killed, if you read the Srimad Bhagavatam, it's not like the killing of of humans that humans do to each other.
जो भगवान कृष्ण और स्त्रियों का विनाश करते हैं, जैसे मुद्दा नाश किया, लेकिन स्त्रियों जैसे भागवत में पढ़ गए, भगवान कृष्ण के द्वारा सब में जाना और एक मनुष्य को मारता है, वो शांति कैसे दी?
When Krishna kills, he actually gives liberation to that person.
जो कृष्ण की बात करते हैं उसको मुक्ति।
So he's actually acting out of great compassion.
ये भगवान की कृपा है।
So we should never think that these incarnations of the Lord are just like mundane people, just like you and me.
वैसा ही सोचते थे कि भगवान के पास बहुत लोग जैसे हमारे लोग जैसे हैं।
Like I said, of course, Krishna, God, can come into this world because He's created it and it serves a specific purpose, actually. It's a material world.
भगवान पृथ्वी पर आते हैं, मनुष्य की सृष्टि की और जो सृष्टि के उनके लिए भगवान।
We're here in this world because we have wanted to enjoy separately from Krishna. Actually, our position is to be always with Krishna and enjoying his company and serving him. But just like one might have a very rich father, but if he says, I don't want to associate with you anymore and I want to go off on my own, the father will oblige him. He's not going to force him to stay in his association. Similarly, as parts and parcels of Krishna, Krishna has given us some level of free will where we can choose if we want to associate with him or not. And so this material world that we're in is here for us to be able to play out this wrong desire to be separate from the Lord. And you see so many so-called great men that try to become very powerful, very rich, very influential, and they have the desire to be many gods of some sort, some kind of god themselves. And that desire is in all of us to some extent, because we're in this material world. That's proof of the fact that we have that desire to become God. But all of our attempts to become this very powerful being are always thwarted by old age, disease, and death, and this rebirth. So I've heard it described that this material world is designed to be perfectly imperfect. We're allowed to have that independence and play out our desires, but we're always left frustrated, and because it's unnatural for us. Actually, our natural position isn't as the Lord of everything, but it's as a servant. We can see that because everybody is a servant of something. Either we're serving our boss, or we're serving our family, or if you don't have anything to serve, you'll get a dog or a plant and you'll try to serve that. And we can also understand that we don't become happy by trying to enjoy just for ourselves and be selfish, but we actually become happy by serving others. Everyone can experience that.
वो इतना सुखी प्राप्त करता है हम दूसरों को आनंद देने का प्रयास।
And so, like I said, this world is a place for us to play out these desires, and in a way, it's like a prison because we are disobedient to the laws of Krishna, God.
ये बहुत जैसे ये जैसे नगर जो हमारी इच्छा में है वो जेल में को डाल दिया जाता है।
Prison, you could say, or you could better phrase it as correctional facility.
अभी किसी को correctional facility को
Place where we can correct our wrong attitude and fix ourselves and become fit to go back to Krishna.
ऐसा स्थान जहाँ पर हमारे गलत धारणा की इसको हम correct कर सकते हैं, हम योग्य हो सकते हैं, हमारे वापस आएंगे।
And so, in order to help this system go on properly, Krishna himself will come to this world and show his activities and try to attract us to him through that.
हमें वापस निकालने के लिए भगवान आते हैं, बहुत जल्दी मनुष्य को लेकर आते हैं और हमें अवसर प्रदान करते हैं कि हम जाकर इसको बहुत जल्दी से निकलकर उनके पास जाएं।
And it's very captivating and amazing when the Lord comes. Actually, all of his devotees also come with him, and so many just inconceivable pastimes occur. And so, as we were reading in this verse that I read today, this Lord Chaitanya, who has come in this Kali Yuga, is very special and unique. There's this storehouse of love of Krishna, which is Krishna Prem, the topmost, most valuable thing that exists. There's, everyone's looking for wealth, power, maybe liberation, but above all of these things is this love of Krishna, because this love of Krishna gives so much more bliss than anything else can give us. And again, it gives this happiness because this is actually our natural position to be serving Krishna and reciprocating with Krishna. But until Lord Chaitanya came, this attainment of this Krishna Prem was extremely difficult and rare. Even those who very diligently study the Vedas, still they wouldn't come across knowledge of this. It's very much hidden from the public. And the other reason why it's so secret and so rare is because this is the only thing that actually controls Krishna himself, is love for him. His devotees actually, they bound him up with the ropes of love. We can see this literally with Damodar Leela, with Mother Yashoda, tying up Krishna, young Krishna, to the grinding mortar with ropes of love. And he's Krishna. Of course, nobody can actually tie him up unless he allows it. But because of Mother Yashoda's love and her effort to discipline her child, Krishna actually allowed, okay, you can tie me up. And these are very, again, inconceivable things, because how could someone who is all-powerful, much more powerful than us, ever be subject to be overpowered by the living entities like us that are so small?
एक गीत में जिसकी शक्ति उनसे बहुत कम है।
But this is another thing that gives Krishna pleasure, because if he's always the most powerful, if he's always controlling over everything else, and nobody else can, have any control over him, then it doesn't give as much excitement. But this gives some level of enjoyment and excitement for him.
ये जो भाव है, ये भक्तों के द्वारा बदल जाता है। वे कृष्ण को बहुत आनंद देते हैं, क्योंकि जब भगवान इस सब स्तुति कर रहे हैं, सब के गीत तो उनकी जो इच्छा पूरी होती है। वो इच्छा करते हैं कि कोई तो हो जो देश शासन करे। इसलिए इस प्रकार जब भक्त उनके कीर्तन करते हैं, तो ये चीज भगवान को आनंद देता है।
And so this very secret and confidential aspect of Krishna praying, love of Godhead, was this storehouse, as it's being described, was completely broken open, and everything inside was stolen out by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates. And this storehouse of love of God, something that's very amazing about it is that as they continued to take more and more out of the storehouse, actually the supply increased, it didn't decrease. And so, of course, they broke it open and tasted it for themselves. But then the next verse is very nice, because it says, Sri Panchatat for themselves danced again and again, and thus made it easier to drink nectarian love of Godhead. They danced, cried, laughed, and chanted like madmen, and in this way they distributed love of Godhead. So this purport, I'll read a little bit of this as well, that people generally cannot understand the actual meaning of chanting and dancing. Describing the Goswamis, Sri Srinivasacharya stated, Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Faro. Not only did Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates demonstrate this chanting and dancing, but the 6 Goswamis also followed it in the next generation. The present Krishna consciousness movement follows the same principle, and therefore, simply by chanting and dancing, we have received good responses all over the world. It is to be understood, however, that this chanting and dancing do not belong to this material world. They are actually transcendental activities, but the more one engages in chanting and dancing, the more he can taste the nectar of transcendental love of Godhead.
वर्तमान कृष्ण भावना में आंदोलन भी इसी सिद्धांत का पालन करता है। इसीलिए केवल कीर्तन तथा दर्शन से पूरे विश्व भर में अच्छी स्वीकृति मिली, किंतु ये जान लेना होगा कि यह कीर्तन तथा दर्शन इस भौतिक जगत का नहीं है। वास्तव में ये दिव्य कार्य है, क्योंकि कोई जितना भी कीर्तन और दर्शन करता होता है, वह उतना ही अधिक भगवत प्रेम रूपी अमृत का आस्वादन कर सकता है।
So this love of Godhead that is generally so secretly kept away and hidden, Lord Chaitanya has come to freely distribute it in such a compassionate mood that he's feeling so much compassion and empathy for the fallen conditioned souls who are suffering in this world. And how are they distributing it? They are dancing, crying, laughing, and chanting like madmen. So if you told me, or if you told probably any of us a few years ago, before we joined this movement, that we would be on the streets jumping and dancing and chanting and spraying water bottles on each other like madmen, we would say, you're crazy, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be a businessman, or I'm going to be a doctor, or this or that.
मुझे किसी ने कहा होता इस मौके पर कि आवाज़ों इस मूवमेंट में और हम फिर सड़कों पे नाचेंगे गाएंगे मुंडरा करेंगे पानी पिलाएंगे बालों की तरफ मेरा तो ये था मैं ही कभी आने वाले नहीं हूँ मैं तो बिजनेस में लोगों को कैसे काम करूँ.
But this chanting and dancing like madmen, we may appear like madmen, but actually, this is the true way to attain happiness in this world. What is actually mad is ignoring this fact of old age, disease, and death that is inevitably coming for us, and going on with our material lives thinking that everything will be fine. This is what the Lord Himself is doing when He comes down as Lord Chaitanya. He's chanting and dancing and chanting His own names. And why is that? It's not because he just wants to think about himself or anything, but he takes the position of a devotee because he wants to experience that flavor. He wants to experience that, like I was saying, how Mother Yashoda is experiencing this love of Krishna. And specifically, he wants to experience the feelings of his topmost devotee, Srimati Radharani. Because he realized that you can't experience love for yourself as much as you can for someone else. And specifically, he was thinking, well, this Srimati Radharani, she loves me so much, and I want to know what that feels like. I want to experience that myself. And so this incarnation of Lord Chaitanya is extremely rare. It doesn't come very often. Only once in a day of Brahma. And that's 8.6 billion years. And now we find ourselves here just only 540 years after the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. And we have this very amazing opportunity. We have the association of great devotees. We have these amazing facilities where we can come and engage in this chanting and dancing every day. We have these amazing books, this Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita set, which has all the pastimes and teachings of Lord Chaitanya. And this set of books is described like a sweet. You can take a bite anywhere and it'll be very sweet. And so we have this very, very fortunate opportunity to take this up. And we have the books of Srila Prabhupada, we have the Association of Devotees, we have the Holy Name. And in this Kali Yuga, this is the way to attain perfection, is this chanting and dancing. Every age has its own Yuga Dharma. Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga has different ways to attain this perfection. But in the Bhagavatam, it specifically describes what the method of perfection is in Kali Yuga. Let's read this. Kalir dosha nidhe rajan asti heko mahan gunaha kirtanan eva krishnasya mukta sangha param brajit. My dear king, although Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. Simply by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, one can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom. So this Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults as being described here. Everyone is short-lived, always anxious, always quarreling, and there's so many bad qualities, so many sinful activities going on. But this one practice of chanting the holy name completely redeems this entire age for us. Generally, we are less intelligent than those in other ages, previous ages. So we have a very, very simple method for attaining perfection. All we have to do is chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We just chant this, and all perfection will be attained. And Lord Chaitanya came to show this and give this to us. Specifically, we were supposed to do Sankirtan. We're supposed to chant in congregation together with other devotees. And you can really experience that this is truly the Yuga Dharma when you get into a nice kirtan with everyone, and all of your material worries, everything that's making you mental, whatever's on your mind, it goes away and you can just become absorbed in the holy name. So we are trying to inundate the entire world in this love of Godhead and this chanting of Hare Krishna. Like I said, this Kali Yuga is full of so many faults. There's so many horrible things happening in this world today. But if we simply take shelter of Lord Chaitanya and this chanting, we can overcome all difficulties, all anxieties. And we're about to, after this, to see a nice drama of this pastime of Jagai and Madhai. This is a very nice example for us to see that even the most fallen, these very, very sinful brothers, Jagai and Madhai, they were murdering and getting intoxicated, doing all kinds of horrible things. They were saved even by the mercy of the Lord. And we can reflect on that, at least myself, I'm like a Jagai or Madhai, very sinful person and coming from this horrible Western culture, but somehow or the other, I am following this process as given by Lord Chaitanya, and I'm improving myself and my character and trying to become a devotee. So this opportunity is like winning the lottery 10 billion times in a row.
हमें दो तरीके का अपनी चाहिए
We have the human form of life, and we have come just after Lord Chaitanya, and we have the opportunity to get his mercy through this movement of Srila Prabhupada.
किसी को भी मनुष्य जीवन में और कई सबसे बड़ा अवसर हो सकता है इतने महात्मा की कृपा को प्राप्त करना श्री प्रभुपाद की मान
If we miss this opportunity, then what is our future? Nagati Gotopi, we don't know what our future will be. We might, go up to higher planets, might go to lower planets, but when will we be able to get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya again?
अगर हम ये सरकार है तो पता नहीं हमारी क्या गलती होगी सर हो जाएंगे या फिर जाएंगे पता नहीं फिर दोबारा कब ऐसा मौका मिलेगा तो महात्मा की कृपा दोबारा करना
So greed is generally a bad quality to have.
लोग वो एक अपूर्ण आ गए
But we can be greedy for the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. We can be greedy to attain this Krishna prema and get into this storehouse of love of God that the Panchatattva has broken open for us.
इसलिए महात्मा की कृपा प्राप्त करने के लिए हम आरती करते हैं हमारा आराधना तरीके से मुझे कृष्ण प्रेम का भंडार चैतन्य महाप्रभु बांट है उसको कैसे प्राप्त करना
And we should be greedy to distribute it to as many people as possible and to become, just distribute it to millions and millions of people, as many as possible.
इस तरह कैसे जो कृपा है वो और जानना है लोगों को ये जो भंडार है कृष्ण प्रेम का वितरण करना इसमें इसके लिए हम आते हैं
So I wanted to leave a little bit of time